LeBron James made his preseason debut yesterday against the Bulls. He had 17 points and 7 turnovers. Did you catch any of that while you were watching soccer?
I did not. Last night, I've really concentrated. Like tonight, tomorrow we've got a great NFL game. Tonight I got a Yankee baseball game, and last night I had the soccer game. So I got to be honest with you, I don't watch even a ton of NBA before January. Like, I don't think...
Really?
I don't watch a lot of November, December NBA. I don't think you can make any judgments on it because I've talked to coaches through the years, and they don't get their... they don't really get things in sync defensively. There's a lot of experimenting because the league is younger.
Well, it takes a little while, but that's part of the fun. I mean, I don't watch a lot of preseason NBA, but
I don't watch
when
any
the
of it.
season starts, I'm very excited to see how some of these teams will mesh right in the beginning. But... LeBron is taking responsibility for the team's performance yesterday. Here he is.
I could feel it, just my first action since the finals. So my time was a little off, and the turnovers I think kind of just trickled down to everybody. So it made everyone's timing off.
Good, taking responsibility for the team not playing very well. They lost 108-94 to the Bulls in the preseason game. Maybe he was just distracted because he's spending way too much time being the coach of the Cavaliers. Do you know who the coach is of the Cavs?
Tyronn Lue.
No. I'm pretty sure it's LeBron, especially when you hear from Kevin Love on how he found out he was going from playing the 4 to the 5.
I had asked about a certain play on the defensive end and whether it was the different coverages on the 4 or the 5 man. And Bron kind of stopped me. He goes, you know you're going to be starting at the 5, right? So I kind of looked at him and didn't really fully understand that was going to be the case. Not that I would have trained or done anything different. I just would have started to wrap my head around it more. So that's when I kind of knew that that was coming into play, and I slowly and surely started to pick it up.
Now, when did he say that?
Recently, but that's not good. And maybe I'm reading into this too much, but he doesn't look happy that he found out that he's changing positions from LeBron, who clearly knew the whole team plan before Kevin Love even knew what position he was playing this year.
Wouldn't Kevin Love know that he's going to play more 5?
You would think, but apparently LeBron knew. Or that's what LeBron wanted in the moment and made it happen.
Yeah, I mean, Jay Crowder's now joining Tristan Thompson, so Kevin would move. And I mean, listen, the NBA, Kevin Love will be the best shooting center because it's not like they're going to ask him to post.
Sure, but the point of this story is that LeBron is the one who told him that he was changing positions. That's a tough way to find out from a teammate and not the coach. That's why I say, is Ty Lue the coach or is LeBron? And who's the GM while we're at it? And finally, Russell Westbrook's been asked a lot of questions about team chemistry with Carmelo and Paul George and how everyone is fitting together. And I want you to listen to his answer, but more importantly, take a look at what he's wearing.
Okay.
What did I tell you yesterday?
I didn't say the word chemistry.
It's the same thing, bro. I went to school, so I know it's the same thing.
Well, as you guys, obviously, that is going to be a work in progress. How important is defense? How important is the consistency?
Okay. So hopefully you can see it behind that bar there, but his shirt says adopt a cat, which might seem innocent. Maybe he's just a cat guy. Good for him. But let me remind you of something that Kevin Durant tweeted when we were having the whole Twitter gate on whether it was him or if it was another person intimidating him. Imagine taking Russ off that team. See how bad they were. KD can't win a championship with those cats. So now Westbrook's wearing a shirt saying adopt a cat. He is embracing his teammates here, and they obviously have good chemistry because he would adopt all those cats. I love it. You can't love Kevin Durant's cupcake hat and his shoes without also loving Westbrook's cat shirt.
Yeah.
And adopt a cat and a dog while you're at it.
They're both in each other's. It's amazing how much they're, I guess it's not surprising because when you play with somebody for 10 years, you work somewhere for 10 years, it's part of your ecosystem.
Of course it is. And of course you want revenge. You want to get back at that person. And this is why I will watch November and December basketball to see the two of them play against each other. Tillman Fertitta is the new owner of the Rockets, and he has a new interview that came out where he's really, really excited about owning this team and that he tried to buy it before and finally can. Not only is he talking about that, but he has extremely high expectations for the Rockets this year.
And this is a superstar league. And you are not going to get to the playoffs every year and most likely make it to the second round if you don't have a James Harden playing with you. And you add a guy like Chris Paul, and you should get to the Western Conference Finals.
I mean, he's basically saying those guys need to get to the Western Conference Finals. That's a pretty big expectation to set at the beginning of the season without seeing them actually play in a regular season game together.
Well, I mean, the three most talented teams in the West are Golden State, Oklahoma City, and Houston as far as raw talent. Then San Antonio, I think, is less talented but has a really good system. So, I mean, listen, I don't think that's unrealistic. I think Chris Paul and James Harden are two of the top 7 players in the league.
I don't think it's unrealistic either. It's just a very lofty expectation.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, I think that the Thunder actually have a really good chance to play the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. But if that does happen, according to Zach Lowe in his podcast, the Warriors are not at all afraid to defend Russell Westbrook. In fact, he said that they believe his style of play is so easy to defend, it is like cake to them. I don't know if this is true or if this is just more bulletin board material. Either way, another reason to watch November and December basketball, because already we've got Westbrook wearing his cat shirt, and now the Warriors are saying he's like cake to defend. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, this is I've been saying this for 2 years. The Golden State Warriors have so little respect for Westbrook. They have they just, according to your story, they just said it again.
But I also think when you talk about someone, you're giving them respect, even if you're knocking them. Because if you don't respect them, don't even say anything.
Yeah,
they're not worth your time.
If I went to you off the air and said, I think this guy's a bad sportscaster, is that respect or is he a bad sportscaster?
Honestly, I don't think you'd be talking about them unless there was a little part of you
Well, somebody
that felt
asked
something.
somebody asked me about the sportscaster and I give an opinion. Somebody asked them about Russell Westbrook and they gave an opinion that he's easy to defend. The ultimate
But
sign.
to go so far and say like cake.
Kristine, just admit Golden State doesn't respect him. They don't respect him. In fact,
Well, that's not smart.
Okay, well, they so disrespect Russell Westbrook that they literally, think about this. If I was a woman and I had no respect for you and you were married and I hit on your husband, that's what Golden State did. This has been reported. They recruited KD during the season.
Oh, that happens all the time.
No. Because they knew they were on the court with him and they're like, KD's miserable. Like that's, by the way,
that doesn't have to do with Russell Westbrook.
You can keep defending him, but we now have players on the record saying he's easy to defend.
Okay, but listen, if you're going to not respect the MVP from last season, that's dumb. That's stupid on you.
By the way, Derrick Rose was an MVP. Karl Malone won an MVP. The MVP, by the way, you know who won as many coaches of the year as Phil Jackson? Sam Mitchell.
Okay.
Let's not go crazy on awards.
I'm so glad that you brought up Derrick Rose because you're going to love this.
Oh, boy.
So he's playing for $2.1 million this year with the Cavs, which is significantly lower than anything he signed with the Bulls. But he said he's not worried about that low salary because he's going to make double one day.
I get a chance to reintroduce myself back to the league. I get to bet on myself. That was one of the reasons why I came here. I get to bet on myself. And I'm from Chicago. I got that hustling side. It's in me, man. Next time you pay me, you got to pay me double. So it's fine with me.
Yeah.
So next time you pay him, you're going to have to pay him double. Listen. Isaiah Thomas isn't going to be able to play until the All-Star break.
Yeah.
So Rose is going to get a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
If he can pull it together, I mean, double is only $4.2 million, so it's very doable.
It's all surgeries.
Surgeries are not his fault.
I'm not saying they are, but he's not the same player.
We'll see.
Gronk's not the same player. Surgeries. Like I love Gronk, but if you told me Travis Kelce or Gronk today, I wouldn't even consider Gronk.
You wouldn't consider Gronk
over Travis Kelce?
Oh, I see.
Hell no. I mean, surgeries have taken about literally, Gronk's about 70% of the player. Derrick Rose about 70% of the player. I don't blame the player. It's just, you can only do so much after how many knee surgeries?
Well, I would say Rose is even less than 70% of the player. But I think it's a confidence and maturity thing, too. So I hope he does well. I hope he gets double. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.